letting everything release and relax. And from here, we're going to take that focus down into our tootsies. So just stretching your toes as wide as they will go. Get them all with them. And then let's gently just circle those ankles all the way around. So as far out as you go. And let's take it in the opposite direction. Just feeling how pointing and flexing your feet and that once we're circling them moves your body as well. Stretch through the front body, that lengthening through the back body. And from here, we're going to slide those heels up towards the bottom. We're going to take our arms wide into a supine twist. So arms are wide into a scarecrow, palms facing the ceiling, and let's take our knees all the way over to the left-hand side. The gaze turns in the opposite direction. Remember, you can use your cushions, place them underneath your knees or between your knees, whatever makes it feel more comfortable. And consciously sending that breath all the way down into the ribs, into the tummy. One more breath here. And then we're going to activate into those feet, pressing into the ground, bring those knees all the way up. And let's take it over to the other side. Taking those knees all the way over. And then actively turning the other ear to touch the ground. And at the end of this next breath cycle, we're going to activate into those feet, bring the knees back up to face the ceiling. Let's hug those knees all the way in. So we'll hold you up behind the back to the knees or top of the shins, what works for us. And we're just going to keep the knees and ankles together, just draw little circles with those knees together. Massaging into that lower back area. Taking it in one direction, and let's take it into the other direction. Fabulous. Brilliant. So from here we've got choices. We can roll to our right hand side if that feels good. Or we can cross the ankles and rock and roll with both legs up, or we can just hold one leg and rock and roll up. Your choice, but we're massaging that spine forward as we come backwards and forward, just massaging that spine. And forward, bring it all the way up. Coming to our easy seated position of our choice. So the legs are crossed, the legs are long, you're sat on cushions, on a chair, whatever tickles your fancy. Let's interlace, we're not going to interlace the fingers. I lied, we're going to press the palms together. Let's stretch the palms in front. Then we're going to interlace. Take them all the way up. Stretch those palms for the ceiling. Exhale, bring them all the way down, round and behind. Again, let's inhale, reach it forward, stretching high as those palms can go. before we release, taking them down. And if you could but hear the grinding that's coming from my shoulders, let's take it again. Take it forward and up. Bring all the way up to the ceiling. And let's release it all the way down. Fabulous. From here, we're going to take it into a really gentle, simple twist. Inhale, reach those palms to the ceiling. Exhale, just rotate it round to wherever feels right for the moment. And then the next time we exhale, we're going to let that nose just come into the chest. The head's hanging, lolloping, but the spine is stacked tall. We're not wrenching with these hands, they just happen to be. Nose is in line with your sternum. Next time we inhale, we're drawing a line with that nose all the way up to your high point towards the ceiling. Breath cycle here. And as you exhale, bring that nose all the way down to hang low. Just let the shoulders relax, just let your head hang. But the spine is tall. Inhale, bring the nose back up to center. And let's take it to the front. Let's take to the other side. Inhale. Reaching up. Stretching through that side body before you release it down. Then with the spine stacked tall, we're just going to let that nose hang low. So there's no tension in the neck, no tension in the jaw. The spine is tall. The next time we inhale, we're drawing a line towards the ceiling. We have one big breath cycle here. And as we exhale, we bring the nose to hang low again. And let's bring ourselves back to seated. We're going to take the left ear over. And just hang towards the left shoulder, sitting on top. Each time we inhale, can we make the spine taller? As we exhale, release tension from those shoulders. Bring the head all the way to the center. Let's take it to the other side. You can just feel, in my case, the tension through one side of the neck compared to the other. Just keep that breath going. Bring the head back to center. Fabulous. We are just going to make our two little OK signs, or little thumb and pointy finger together signs. We're then going to place all the fingertips underneath the chin. So the pointy finger and the thumb is now going to go into the corner of your eyes, and we're going to sit back tall again. So what you think about stacking that spine tall wherever we may be. Taking a deep breath in. And that low, slow breath out. From here, we're going to dip one elbow down to the ground, and we're going to reach the other elbow skywards. And the breath is low, and the breath is slow. Now we're going to breathe all the way back to the center. Let's take it to the other side. As we exhale, we dip that elbow down. The other elbow reaches for the sky. Focus, bring it all the way back. And let's take those arms all the way down, round behind, interlacing those fingers behind our back. Let's just stretch this. And we're focusing on the upper arm, stretching more away from the lower arm. Yeah. Forces are coming from the wrists. We're thinking about lengthening through the upper arm behind first. And then gently release. From here, we're going to take it into our next simple twist of the day. Let's lengthen the legs long. Taking the left leg of your choice, you're going to curl it into your chest and you're going to step it all the way over. Remember, you can sit on cushions, giving your pelvis a bit of a tilt if that makes it feel more comfortable, or even putting cushions underneath the foot that's on the floor. Inhale, we sit tall, the knees hugged in. And the next time we exhale, we just rotate, and it's just from the waist, it's not from the hips. Hips stay facing forward, the waist we can rotate, knee, nose stays in line with sternum, hand just drops to the ground. Think about that active leg. Think about squaring those hips back up. Think about lengthening through the spine, through the crown. Fabulous. Now from here, we're gently going to unravel. Let's take that leg and let's take it wide. There's a big gap now. I'm just going to move this camera. Hopefully it's not going to fall drastically. Oops. Right. Okie dokie. We're going to take it wide to the side, big gap in between. Inhale, reach this hand for the sky. Exhale, we're going to take it to grab the foot, the ankle, the shin, the thigh, wherever it feels good for you. The other hand, we're going to inhale, reach up the sky. Before we exhale, take those hands forward. Nose is going over the toes. In inspiration, not actual reality. That might be for your reality. My reality is a bit different. And that's the same for everything. And let's gently release. Let's take it to the other side. Slide the legs out, the other legs up and over. Let's hug it in. Sitting tall. Flexing the foot. Softness in that knee so we're not ramming the knee to the ground. Inhale to sit tall. Exhale, we rotate round. And we have a full breath cycles here. And gently releasing. Let's bring this foot open and wide. Okay, I'm going to reach that hand all the way up to the sky. And bring it down. I'm going to take the other one all the way high to the sky. And then we're going to take it forward. We're reaching forward. Just focus on that breath. The nose, the inclination of the nose going over the toes. There's a little length from the spine. We're not collapsing through the waist. From here, we're going to slide the soles of those feet together, holding on to those insteps, those arches, with our little claws. We're gently just going to massage those arches, just saying a nice little hello, just sliding that claw down And just slide that claw off. Brilliant. And we're going to have a look at our little tootsies. And you're just going to interlace your fingers in between the tootsies. Both at the same time. I know you don't like this. Some of you, I can see the faces, but we're just ignoring them. And just from there, just take that breath in, bat those eyes closed, breath out. As we breathe in, we're just softening. As we breathe out, we're just letting go of any tension. Wiggle those toes, wiggle those fingers. And then gently release. And let's come to sit up right into our cobbler. So we're sitting tall, the spine is stacked, the head is on top of the crown. A few more breath cycles here. And from here, we're going to bring the knees up and we're going to take it to one hip. We're going to come into our mermaid. So the knees are stacked, the ankles are stacked. If that doesn't feel great for you, you've got your cushion between and just adjust your legs so they feel good. You're going to reach down with one hand to grab the other hand. If your arm feels great, we're reaching overhead, stretching overhead. If that doesn't feel great, just use the inclination of the shoulder. Hand can rest on the thigh. Okay, so your head and your body are arching towards the toes. Doesn't matter how or where. Just circling that wrist one way and gently circling it the other. Fabulous. From here, we're going to bring that hand down to the ground. Fingertips are going to face to the top of the mat. The long leg, we're going to slide it long. This leg, we're going to lift up onto. So we're going to come into a long supported side plank. I want you to think about that breath coming into those side ribs, opening, because the hand that's over your head, that's just flopping. That doesn't feel great for you. Just let the hand lie on your side. But we're thinking about these ribs opening up as we breathe in. As we breathe out. Fabulous. We're rotating forward onto our hands and knees. We're in our tabletop position. Stacked, long table. From there, we're going to start our cats and cows from our tail feathers. Exhale, curling it all the way up. Letting the head hang low. Inhale. Taking it through. Inhale, stretch through the front side. Taking time and using that breath to move the vertebrae individually. Stretch all those little muscles in between. Oh, ease off any tension. One more breath cycle. And from here, I'm going to move this way, so I don't end up with my back to you. And then from our tabletop, we're going to come sideways into our mermaid on the other side. So your hand comes to your feet. Okay, your feet are, you're not sitting on your feet, you're on your haunch. Other hand comes all the way up and over. If that feels good for you, if it doesn't, just cross their arm in front of the body and lean with the shoulders. Just back your eyes closed and just feel that opening. The arm that's over your head, just gently circle that wrist one way. And then the other. Areas, gently releasing it all the way down. We're going to bring that hand down to the ground, fingertips facing directly ahead. Extend the other leg, bring that weight out of the way. Okay, and we're going to come up to balance on this leg as a support, and the arm is going to come all the way overhead. And really let that hand go sort of quite loose, so you're creating a great big humpback bridge almost, rather than a side plank, because if your side plank happened to be this shape, it would be useless for most carpentry and joinery. Brilliant. And from here, I'm just going to pivot around the other way so that I end up with my back to you. We're going to bring the hands down and the knees together. We're back into our table. In our table, we have 3 more rounds of cats and cow, just gently moving through that spine. So you might want to add a little bit of sideways movement in at the same time. You might want to keep it really original and just keep the up and down movement. And at the end of this next breath cycle, we're going to meet back in our table, our nice long table. We're then going, from here, we're going to bring the big toes in together, taking the knees wide to the edge of the mat. We're going to form our thread the needle, but with a slight difference. The hand, one hand, is going to come into the center. So you've now formed a diamond. Knees and hands, feet, toes are in line. Other hand, we're going to inhale, reach to the sky. From there, we're going to exhale, take it through, bring that hand all the way through, which will bring your ear on the other side of your hand. Once your head is down, you can place that hand by your nose to the top of your mat, or wrap it into the opposite hip crease as you choose. Now make sure we're pressing up into the tail feathers. There's no pressure on that neck. And of course, the basic one of all, we are still breathing. If it doesn't feel great for you to have your head this low, remember you can bring the floor up to it by balancing your head on cushions. Fabulous. From here, pressing down into that hand by your nose and gently bring ourselves all the way back up. Let's take our thread the needle to the other side, placing the other hand into the center. Inhale, reach for the sky, feeling that rotation is much more down into your waist than in your thoracic area. And from here, let's thread it all the way through. Choosing a position for your hand by your nose, top of your mat, your waistband. Feeling it through. That is the end of this breath cycle. We're going to exhale, bring ourselves all the way back up to our tabletop. Fabulous. From here, we're going to take the left leg all the way long, keeping the toes on the ground and take it into an extended table. Toes are on the ground, and we're just gently rocking backwards and forwards into that calf. Toes are tucked. Brilliant. From there, we're going to exhale, curl that knee all the way up and place it to the outside of our hands. Just making sure that you ease generously on the outside, so we're not scrimping up our hips together. We're not on a tight rope, a nice firm base. From here, let us take that revolved low lunge. Inhale, reach for the sky. Just have a move around or stillness, your choice. That's brilliant, everyone. From here, we're going to power it up. We're going to come all up. So we have a revolve. Whoops, as I fall over because I'm looking at the camera. Low. Brilliant. So we're looking over our front thigh. Our thumbs are facing the ceiling. Our shoulder blades are squoozing together behind us. Brilliant. Let's take it to the front. And this time we're going to bring the hands back down to the ground. Normally we tuck the tail feathers underneath. This time we're going to bring ourselves in a straight line from knee to hip to front knee. So we're taking our body forward. Back is still straight, but we'll just take it into an elongation. Breathing it through. Brilliant. Exhale, bring ourselves back. And then we're going to lift. And this time we're going to tuck the tail feathers under and come into our proposal. Hand in front of the thigh, other hand taking overhead. Breath in. And let's slow the breath out. Fabulous. And let's bring it all the way down to the ground. And let's step the big knees together. And then take them to hip distance. From here, we're going to take it into downward dog. Exhale, lifting up. Just pedaling it through. Brilliant. From here, bring the knees all the way back down to the ground. And let's take our extended table to the other side. Making the other leg long, keeping those toes pressed into the ground. And we'll just gently rock backwards and forwards. And the next time you exhale, you're going to curl that knee all the way up into the chest and step it forward. So it's just to the outside of your hands. Have a gentle wiggle around, side to side. Brilliant. Then the hand closest to the foot. We're going to revolve that low lunge, take it up into the air. Fabulous. From here, we're going to take it up, power it up. So we're going to rotate over that front thigh, thumbs face the ceiling, shoulder blades squeezing in. But we're not hunching those shoulder blades up to the ceiling. We're thinking about relaxing them. Fabulous. Now bring those hands all the way to the front. This is where we're going to sink forward, okay? So we're lengthening. So we've got a straight line from knee, shoulder, hip, and down. Sinking it forward. From there, we're going to power it back up and we're going to take it into our proposal. Rising high, hands in front, hand over. From here, we're going to straighten ourselves up. We're going to bring our hands to heart center. We're going to tuck those back toes underneath. As we exhale next, we're going to straighten up. And then we're going to step forward. Then we come up into our mountain. Or however you want to join us. It doesn't matter how. We're upstairs and we're in our mountain. Hands to heart center. Inhale. Exhale. Deep breath in. And let's slowly breath out. Practice one more deep breath in. And slowly breath out. Fabulous. From here, we're going to take it to the top of our mats. We're going to inhale, come into our front march. That's squaring up those hips, lifting that knee as high as we can. Before we're going to take it into flamingo, so we're going to bring the knees together. Sole of the foot presses behind you. Okay, hands can stay at heart center, or if you like, you can bring them above your head. Oops, can't do that. Look at the camera at the same time. Now think, are you arching your back, or have you still got length through that back? Lengthening that through the crown. Fabulous. And from there, we're going to inhale, bring it back up into our front march. And let's place it down to the ground. And again, inhale, bring it high. Exhale, let's take it into that flamingo. Flex the foot, two knees together, lifting tall through the crown. Hands can stay at heart center, or we can take them all the way above our heads. One more breath cycle here. And then we're going to bring that knee all the way back. High into front march. Or we position it down. Let's take a stride flat, taking any tension from the body. Brilliant. We're going to step the legs wide into that deep goddess position. Taking a gentle sway side to side. Breathing it through. Sinking low. Fabulous. From here, we're going to take it into that wide leg forward fold. So we're going to straighten the legs. Okay, softness in the knees. Bring your hands in front of you. So you've formed a letter N. A wonky letter N, but a letter N. Brilliant. Take a gentle bend side to side. Fabulous. Turning back around this way so you can see. We're going to walk our hands to one foot. Okay, you're going to gently bend that knee and you're going to bring your tail feathers down and your heel up. So we are in a Cossack. Breathing it through. And walking those hands back to the front. You're going to power through that leg to bring yourself back up into that wide leg forward fold. Sway side to side. And then we're going to walk our hands all the way around to the other side. Generously bending that knee, bring that heel to the ground, the toes up. Looking good. Anchoring those hands down, lifting ourselves high, bring yourselves into center, pull that forward fold. Brilliant. From here, inhale, bring ourselves up into that flat back position. And let's bend in the knees. We're going to turn our front toes to the front of the mat. We're going to bring our forearm down to the thigh. We're going to tend into extended side angle. Inhale, rise, and we're coming up into a warrior two. Fabulous. From here, we're just going to inhale, coming back up, and we're going to take it back down into our lovely goddess pose, or horse, whatever you like to call it. Give it a wiggle. We're not forcing, we're not wrenching. Fabulous. Then we're going to turn the back foot across the mat, front foot. We're going to straighten the back leg. We're going to come into extended side angle on this side. Before we inhale, bring it back into our warrior two. Fabulous. From here, we're going to straighten both legs, coming back into and then sink down into our goddess. Brilliant. I'm going to pivot this way, pivot whichever way feels more comfortable for you. You're going to bring your hands down, round one foot, and you're going to step the other foot back to come into our downward dog. Just pedaling it through. Brilliant. From here, inhale, bring those knees all the way down to the ground. We're going to bring our big toes together, taking our knees wide, sinking it down into extended child's pose. Forehead is supported wherever it happens to be. This time, you're going to bring your elbows close to your side of your head. You're going to bring the palms of your hands together. We're going to take those thumbs all the way up and overhead into the nape of your neck. We have a little baby shark. It doesn't matter if you're much further forward or your heels, bottoms all the way down on your heels. So the closer you can bring your elbows into the side of your head, the more of an opening through your triceps you'll feel, which is underneath the bit of your arms into your armpits. At the end of this breath cycle, we're gently going to unravel. We're going to inhale, bring yourselves back up to tabletop, and then we're going to sink down onto our tail feathers. We're going to rotate. Okay. And we're going to come into a basic boat position. And then we're going to come into Gaganasana, which I love, and other people don't, but never mind. I love it. Okay, so from our basic boat position, we're going to bring the left leg up and the right leg up. You can hold behind the backs of the thighs if you want to. You can support yourself down on your forearm if you want to, as long as you keep your back straight. Okay, so find what feels good for you. Okay, you can hold on backs of thighs, take your arms straight if you want. Palms facing the ceiling, so we're not wrenching it into those shoulders, or you can straighten your legs all the way up. Your choice. I'm going to bring my legs down today. We're breathing through. And just whilst you're here, just to give your little toes a little bit of a wiggle. And let's hug everything in. We're going to come from here into Davanasana, taking the legs long. Inhale, reaching for the sky. Press those heels away, toes actively coming back towards us. We're reaching for the sky. And let's release the hands all the way down. Slide those heels all the way back in. I'm going to come into Gaganasana now. So that is a version of boat pose. We can do it with our feet on the floor. And literally, as we lean back, we're going to bring our arms back and down, elbows down, palms facing forward. Okay, traditionally, as you do it, you do the lion's breath, which is the ha. Tongue comes out underneath your chin, and you make a roaring noise. Okay, yes, you look silly. It's fun though. It's fun. Nobody can hear you. I've muted it off. Inhale, you bring yourself forward, draping over your knees. And again, exhale. And inhale, you bring yourself forward. You have one more. Taking it back. Bring ourselves all the way forward. Gently wiping saliva off your chin. And release. Let's take it into Dandasana. Press those heels away. Interlace those fingers. We're going to reach high for this version. Palms reach for the ceiling. Heels pressing away. Toes so they're coming back towards us. And then from here, we're releasing the hands all the way down to the ground. We're going to take it low, low to the ground, taking ourselves all the way down onto our backs. From here, we're going to inhale, take the arms overhead. Let's take a banana. Let's walk the hands to the left-hand corner, the arms and the legs to the left-hand corner. Closing your eyes, you have 4 breath cycles here. Gently feeling those side ribs open up as we breathe in. Feeling them fall away as we breathe out. Fabulous. And then gently straighten our banana. We're going to take our banana all the way over to the other side. Remember, if the arms don't feel great going overhead today, then just cross them across your body, keeping the inclination from your shoulders away. Lengthening this breath back down to 6 counts in. And 6 counts out. Fabulous. And from here, we're gently going to roll all the way over onto your tummies. Coming to light all the way over. Remember, this is the time, it's a Sunday for cushion. So if you want a cushion underneath your tummy, just to make your lower back feel more comfortable, feel free to do so. And we're going to fold those forearms, place the forehead onto the forearms, take the legs long. Once the legs are long, we're going to bring the heels all the way up to the bottom. Just circle them around for a couple of times. Just ease through those front hip flexors. Breathe. And then release the legs long to the ground. Let's bring the big toes together and let's take our crocodile. Heels open out. Turn the left cheek down. And you have 2 breath cycles with this cheek down. Just releasing, relaxing, gentle wiggle. And let's take our crocodile to the other side, turning the other cheek down. That is, bring your forehead back straight. So you're now going to rest your forehead on the floor. You're going to take your arms wide into a cactus, into a scarecrow. The palms are facing the floor. You're going to bring the heels up towards your bottom. Just have a gentle wiggle there. Now be aware about how your lower back is feeling today, how your back is feeling in general. Because we're going to lengthen one leg down to the ground. You're gently going to roll that heel over, the other heel over, the other leg, and bring it back. And you're going to swap over. As you exhale, the heel goes over, and one hip rolls off the ground and comes back. So we're gently going to roll side to side. Nice and gently. Ignore hip hop, bring it back down. And then from there, the next time we're going to take it all, we're going to slide the left hand in towards the chest. Keep that elbow close to the side. We're going to roll the left foot over the right foot. Hips then stack one on top of the other. We've got our lying scorpion. Breathing it through. Rolling our scorpion, our hips back down to the ground. We're going to take it to the other side, sliding the other fingertips in towards the shoulder. Heel comes up and rolls over the other leg. Foot comes to grace the floor. Or if it doesn't, it just hovers in the air. That's okay. Or if it doesn't feel good at all, you don't hold it there. You just flow in and flow out. And gently roll it all the way back. Let's take it into a little baby Sphinx. Bring those elbows underneath the shoulders. Inhale, stretching that tummy forward as far as it will go before you raise it up ever so slightly. Coming to the point that feels good for you. Lowering it down to those bottom ribs, they're still anchored to the ground. We're going to stretch the tummy forward again. And raise it slightly, but keep those lower ribs anchored on the ground. And release it all the way down. Let's take it over onto our backs. It's coming to light all the way over on our backs. Fabulous. I need to strangle my sweater here. We're going to take the heels into our bottom. We're going to hug the knees all the way into our Apasana. Knees to chest, just gently hugging. Now, if you're normally a shins person, let's have a go at holding on behind the backs of our legs. Or if you're normally a backs of the legs person, try the other way. And let's just circle those ankles one way and the other. Fabulous. Breath in. Slow breath out. You're going to release the feet to the floor one at a time. Now this is the point where you get your spiky ball or your tennis ball, and you're going to place it underneath your left foot or your right foot. It's a foot. Does it really matter? Not really at all. And if you don't have one, equally good. Feet are on the floor, one foot is that, and we're just gently going to roll it all the way around. And we're going to focus just on that breath staying nice and well and slow. And then just thinking maybe about opening the hands to the ground, palms facing up. Each time we breathe in, we soften. Each time we breathe out, we release. And just thinking about rolling the ball sideways now. Sideways, nice and gently across the base of our foot. Fabulous. And then stepping that foot to the side, let's roll that foot, bobble over to the other foot. Just take it back, gently rolling it backwards and forwards. Just gentle weight to the lower leg that's pressing onto it. There's no great weight, just rhythmic, just let it open up. Now it can feel great, it might not feel anything at all, equally good. And let's take it sideways. Sideways. Thinking about that breath in. Let's slow the breath out. And grabbing hold of that ball. You're now going to take that ball and you're just going to place it underneath, if you can imagine your M&S knicker line underneath your bottom, and it's going to come, it's a medium cut knicker line, okay? So it's going to come across your bottom at a diagonal angle. So you're just going to place that ball underneath that bottom in that diagonal point. I'm going to bring the soles of our feet together and just let the knees roll out to the side. Now, once the ball is underneath there, just have a feel. Where does it feel? Does it feel a bit too uncomfortable? Do you need to move it up a bit, down a bit? Just find the point where you just think, oh, that feels quite good, really. And if it doesn't, take the ball away. And taking that breath in and that breath out. Breath in. Slowly breath out. Right. So bring those knees back to face the ceiling. Let's take that ball to the other side. And just roll it underneath that M&S diagonal like this. Or your swimsuit line, whichever you prefer to call it. And just find a good point for you. A little roll around. So the pelvis backwards and forwards. Just find your sweet spot. And just let the body ease. And if you're holding, if you're tensing, you can't ease, remove the ball. This is all about ease. Sending that breath low and slow. Happy, let's pull more breath in. Brilliant. We're going to remove that ball. We're going to take our legs long in Sukhasana. Arms come down by our sides, palm facing the ceiling. Got those eyes closed. We have 4 breath cycles here. We're going to lengthen it down into our pyramid breath. Breathing in through your nose for the count of 6. And hold. And out. Breathing in. Hold. And out. Breath in. And hold. Deep breath in. And hold. And out. Breath in. And hold. And out. Let's just roll to our right hand side and gently press ourselves all the way up in to sitting